Hello there YouTube, and welcome to the Alex vlog. Do you like my Cyberman helmet, by the way? It's very nice. Anyway, the reason I'm wearing this is because we're doing Doctor Who news. Though we're not talking about the Cybermen, we are talking about the new companions that are going to be starring alongside Jodie Whittaker in Series 11 of Doctor Who next year, and also we're going to be talking about the 10 episodes thing as well. Now, yes, this is not brand new news. This is stuff that was announced a couple of weeks ago, but a combination of being busy and being lazy has got around it. And also, I don't like to give a straight reaction to these things straight away. I like to have a chance to go away and think about things before I make a video talking about them. So we'll start with the companions, and we'll start. And then, now I'm not going to start with the elephant in the room, which is Bradley Walsh. I want to talk about him in a minute. So obviously we've got Bradley Walsh, and we've also got Mandy Gill and Tosin Cole, two people who I've never heard of, and they'll be playing the characters of Graham, Yasmin and Ryan. I have to say, I've never heard of Mandy Gill or Tosin Cole. I hope to God I'm pronouncing those names correctly. I'm sorry if I'm not. But yeah, but I've not really heard of them, which is nothing new with Doctor Who. I had no idea who Jenna Coleman was before she became Clara. I had no idea who Pearl Mackie was before she became Bill either. The only recent companion who I've known who they were prior to them starring in Doctor Who was Matt Lucas as Nardole, because I've seen him in various other works and comedy things. I mean, he's a very well established comedian and actor, so there's no surprise that I knew who he was before he joined the show. But I really don't know what to say about these two people. I haven't got a clue who they are. I haven't even looked them up yet, you know. So that's like. But let's talk instead then about Bradley Walsh. Now, Bradley Walsh is, I think he's 50 something. Let me just check this out. Bradley Walsh. Google. He's 57. So it's going to be, I think, nice to have an older companion in the TARDIS. So, you know, we're not having more young people in their 20s or maybe in their early 30s. We're actually going to have an older companion. And to be honest, I think the last time we had an older companion, well, there was Brian Williams, I suppose, Rory's dad. But he wasn't really officially a companion. I suppose you could say Bernard Cribbins as Wilfred Mott in The End of Time, because, and you could say he was officially a companion because his name was in the opening credits. I think that says enough about that. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to have a regular companion who is of an older generation to the typically young companions that we've had for the last 10 years, you know, like Rose Tyler and Martha. I suppose Donna was a little bit older, I suppose. And also we've had quite a few young ones recently. Amy, Rory were quite young, and Clara was even younger, and Bill was young as well. So it'd be nice to have an older companion. I mean, obviously the other two are relatively young, but it'll be nice to have somebody older in the TARDIS. Obviously, Bradley Walsh, famous for being the host of The Chase, which is of course the best game show in the world. I love watching it, and he is a very, very funny man. But if there's one thing I've learnt, it's that Doctor Who is littered with comedy actors, and there are comedians and comedy actors everywhere. You know, we've had the likes, I mean, David Tennant's done a lot of comedy, and so has Peter Capaldi. Obviously Matt Lucas playing comedian, Greg Davies, who was in The Husbands of River Song, David Walliams, who was in The God Complex, and other nameless comedy legends. I think Ben Miller was in Robot of Sherwood. and he's done loads of comedy work. I mean, he was in the original Johnny English, and he was in Armstrong and Miller with Alexander Armstrong. So plenty of comedy legends have been in the show. And of course Roger Lloyd-Pack. How could I forget him? Roger Lloyd-Pack, of course, who played John Lumick in 2006 in Rise of Cybermen and the Age of Steel. He is very well known for comedy roles in Only Fools and Horses and The Vicar of Dibley, etc., etc. So yeah, there's certainly nothing wrong with having another comedy face in the TARDIS, and I look forward to it. I mean, I'm a big lover of comedy anyway, so. But the main thing I want to talk about here is we're getting a TARDIS crew, which is exactly what I want. I personally have always found it more enjoyable when there's been multiple companions in the TARDIS. You know, and I think back to the days of, you know, of the 1960s episodes from William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton, or the TARDIS crew that the Fifth Doctor had, you know, where we did have, you know, 2-3 companions with the Doctor, rather than the more one-on-one scenario that we've been used to, especially recently. I mean, yes, we have had TARDIS trios within the modern era, but a lot of them were relatively short-lived. I think the only time we've had more than one companion in the TARDIS long term is with Amy and Rory, and I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed watching it more having Amy and Rory there than I did in the episodes of Series 5 in which it was only Amy and the Doctor. I think there's a certain bubbliness and I find it certainly lifts up the episode to have multiple companions there, and that's what I found when I was watching Series 10. And I could see, because in Series 10 you had a number of episodes where it was just the Doctor and Bill, but you also had other adventures which Nardole was a part of as well. And I certainly think though that the episodes that had Nardole in them benefited from having him there, purely from having that extra companion figure in the picture, regardless of how good they are as a companion, you know. So I'm seriously looking forward to seeing more like this. So seeing an actual TARDIS crew in the TARDIS, rather than most of the series being sort of one-on-one, because that's how it's been for the last few years. I mean, when Clara was a companion, it was pretty much just her and the Doctor. And Series 10, only some of the episodes actually had Nardole as a companion. Most of them were just the Doctor and Bill. And also throughout the Eccleston and Tennant era, a lot of those stories were just the Doctor and his companion. I mean, yes, there were some episodes where you might have had like maybe Mickey or Captain Jack tag along for a ride, but those were short terms. That wasn't for a whole series. That was maybe for just 2 or 3 episodes out of what was then a 13 episode series. And talking about numbers of episodes in a series, that's a perfect gateway onto my other discussion point for today, which is of course the announcement that there's only going to be 10 episodes in Series 11, but they're going to be longer, and they're going to be 50 minutes, and apart from the first one, which will be 60. Well, I'm kind of in two minds about this. I mean, maybe the episodes will benefit from being longer, but don't forget, the Doctor Who episodes at the moment are already around 45 minutes long, so extending that length up to 50 isn't really adding much into the episodes, you know. That's not that much longer. I mean, the 60-minute obviously we're getting a 60-minute episode at the beginning of the series, but that's nothing new. We've had longer episodes in the series before. Episodes such as Deep Breath was a longer episode, and obviously most recently The Doctor Falls was an extended length episode as well. So that's nothing new for them to do extended length episodes in a series. I'm a little disappointed because I would rather keep the format that we have now, because it means that the series itself lasts longer. You have more episodes, but maybe I could be wrong. I mean, maybe it will benefit. Maybe it will enable for better writing. Maybe it will enable them to do more. But what worries me about that is that the writers might use this extra time to create subplots, and those subplots may not necessarily work. I don't know. It's difficult to say. I've kind of preferred the format of Doctor Who the way it is, but who knows? I mean, this change could well be good for the show. We'll see. I mean, I still don't quite like the idea of cutting the number of episodes from 12 down to 10. I mean, that really is a little disappointing, if you ask me, to have the number of episodes within the series reduced. So yeah, that's a little disappointing. No news yet, though, of any monsters that might be faced within the series. We don't know if there'll be any Daleks or Cybermen. I doubt that the Cybermen will be back for the next series, purely because they played such an enormous role at the end of Series 10. So I doubt they'll be back again. And in fact, the last 2 Cyberman appearances have been for series finale episodes. So I doubt that. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if the Daleks were back, because obviously they did take a break from the Daleks this year. The Daleks only made a cameo in the pilot. They didn't actually get their own story, and obviously there was no Doctor Who in 2016, so we haven't had a Dalek story since 2015. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did go for a Dalek story, even if it's only a one-parter rather than a two-parter. I mean, that's the thing, I'm not sure yet whether or not they're doing one-parters or two-parters. I actually haven't read that because I just haven't bothered. But yeah, but that's the Doctor Who news at the moment. I mean, and I'm not going to keep going through all these newses and spoilers and things, because I don't like lots of spoilers in Doctor Who. I like to watch the show and see what happens. You know, if everything's, you know, if I get everything spoilers, then it's no good. You know, so I try not to read spoilers. But news announcements like this, such as new casting announcements and new and changes to the formatting of the show, are things that I generally can give my opinion about, and it's not really going to be giving away spoilers per se. So, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, we've still got this year's Christmas special to get out of the way yet, with Peter Capaldi's farewell, and seeing David Bradley as the first Doctor, which I'm really looking forward to. I mean, David Bradley is a very good actor. He's been in Doctor Who before, when he played Solomon the Trader in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, and he played William Hartnell / the First Doctor in Mark Gatiss' An Adventure in Time and Space. And others of you may also remember David Bradley from the Harry Potter films, where he played Filch the caretaker. So many of you will remember him from that as well. But anyway, I've been talking for long enough. So yeah, that's been some Doctor Who news, and that's it. I'll see you next time.